Let's go.
No one else to
Hold on, they're gonna start.
do.
I can't hear you, baby. I'm sorry.
I don't know what else to do.
I thought that we had some sort of game plan.
Some game plan.
I told you what I needed. You said we should make a list, but yet you don't. Well, seeing the counselor's not gonna it's not gonna do it. It's not alone. We gotta change how we do things, and I want to trust you, and I feel like all the trust is gone. All the fucking trust is gone in the relationship because you keep splitting.
I'm not gonna be in a physical fucking altercation with you.
Then don't.
You fucking hit me last night. You fucking...
What about all the other times you split? Come on, you cannot act like that's about that. It's
Well,
not.
we're on a plane. I can't split.
No, and you hit back, so don't act like you don't fucking
I
participate.
pushed you.
I'm not gonna get into the details of that fight. You and I both.
Wow, she knows she's recording this shit, and you see when she takes the pauses, and John is not aware that this is being recorded. Also keep that in mind, to my knowledge. And they're talking about him basically, and we have learned this, that he removes himself from an altercation, which is absolutely the contrary of what an abuser would do.
Know that you split when there is no physical violence involved. And if you split and you go into a different room and you don't actually leave that house, it does nothing but perpetuate the fight.
A couple of things to address already. Note how Amber isn't complaining about any abuse she has since claimed to have suffered, and this is just months before the divorce. In fact, her primary complaint in this argument is that Johnny split or left, removing himself from a physical attack by Amber the night before. This will be her main sticking point throughout the video.
Jesus
Her
Christ,
wording
like-
is curious for an alleged abuse victim. Amber, of course, testified to only hitting Johnny one time during their entire relationship, apparently to save her sister Whitney. But this is not that day following the March 2015 incident. This is months later, and yet...
And we know that the security of Johnny deposed a few weeks ago saying that this wasn't true. He was in between her and Johnny, and when he was in the middle, he testified that she punched him straight into the face. The sister was somewhere else.
We have already established that Johnny wants no part of these seemingly frequent physical altercations and chooses instead to leave the room or the home altogether when attacked. Both parties speak as if these attacks by Amber are a common occurrence. Of course, Amber doesn't want to talk about the details, but she'd rather stick to the point of Johnny leaving when he's attacked, to which her response is that only perpetuates the fight. So if I'm understanding this correctly, she claims he makes the fight and her response worse by running away. You know, the whole, you're making me do this.
Unbelievable. You're making me do this. I mean, this alone should be enough that this trial shouldn't exist, honestly. Like 5 minutes in, that's it. To me,
Reasoning?
at least.
You may have also noticed that Amber used the words "you hit back," which translates to "I hit you first," and also, "so don't act like you don't participate," which is odd phrasing to me. He corrects her by saying he pushed her on the plane during one of her attacks, something he has owned up to doing on another occasion when she was punching him in order to get away from her and get her off of him to get to the door and leave.
And I want to add also that, you know, makes it absolutely clear that she starts the fight, and she's also basically kind of drawing him into this, like using manipulating the words to make it look like, because she's recording, that he did something wrong, but at the same time she's betraying herself because, like he said, she started, basically. That clarifies that shows that she was actually the one starting the fight.
But I'm sure the act of moving her or shoving her away to escape counts as abuse in her book, no matter what she was doing to prompt it. Now back to the tape.
Really, when you split on me, how do you feel when I leave you?
When I split, when I go into the other room, you said.
And getting me a room, getting another room at a hotel is just the same thing.
When did I get another room at a hotel?
text Steven or Nathan in Toronto to get you another room. It's chronic. It happens all the time. And if you do it to go into another room, you do it and you get dressed.
You were fucking screaming at me.
I'm not going to validate my actions last night. I feel
This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Like, when she's caught, basically, she takes a pause. Again, she's recording. And she tries to word her response in a way that can be vague enough, you know, and also trying not to basically validate what she did last night. What did you do?
very bad.
No, I'm talking
I
in
reacted.
Toronto.
I did not start screaming until you had fucking said all the shit. You poke an animal enough, it is eventually, doesn't matter how friendly it is
That's
or how
not
cool.
true.
So she mentions him getting another room in Toronto because she was screaming at him, and even gets it mixed up with the previous night's incident when she was also screaming at him and punched him, again referring to herself as an animal that was being poked, and that's why she does it, attempting to validate her actions.
So I have not done this to you. I have not said these things to you. I
Then-
have not started the fight by saying I'm
then
going to
sit-
get another room. And I'm
sit-
not going to sit here and fight about fucking Toronto anymore. Guess what? I let it go. I'm not fucking talking about Toronto.
Send me the
yell it,
tapes.
I can whisper it. I can write it. Guess what? I'm not saying another fucking word about Toronto. I'm so sick and tired of fucking fighting about old fights. This is not about a fight. This is broad. This is a broad thing. And if I'm telling you every single time you get dressed and you fucking split the top of a fight, you never fucking try and work it out, you never fight for me, you never come to me, you never self-calm, you never self-soothe, you're never the one to throw the olive branch. I'm sick and tired of it. It needs to fucking change. And you can go, I can't meet those demands, I can't do it, or you can fucking promise me so I have a modicum of safety, I feel a modicum of respect, a little tiny shit sliver of fucking like, you are in this whether it is good or bad, whether it is good or bad, down and up, lows and highs, tough and easy.
Here again, saying he doesn't stay and fight with her. He leaves. He removes himself from hostile environments, in her words, every single time you split at the top or beginning of a fight. But I thought he beat her whenever she questioned him or at the drop of a hat. Also notice how much she doesn't want to talk about her abusing him, saying
Right.
this is not about a fight, but rather the broad subject of him leaving when a fight starts. And you may have caught on, she uses the terms needing safety. You'll realize as this progresses, she's referring to not physical safety, but the safety that the relationship and Johnny are not going anywhere, and she wants to be confident he won't leave, but rather stay and fight through the bad times.
But this is exactly also my feelings. Like, in that part, she's more like referring to it as if that's the part that she cares about. Because as a narcissist, as somebody that wants, you know, like the privileges covered, that Johnny going away or like undermining their relationship means that she feels unsafe. That type of safety that the relationship with privileges and abused gave her, you know? And she wants to make sure that she still has a grip on him. That's how I translate this to be. And you also, it's fascinating to see the escalation, you know, like to me, this alone, the audio, the way she escalates with the energy in her voice and already being like belligerent in her voice, to me doesn't kind of match the way she described Johnny Depp to be. Actually, as an empath with addiction and trouble, most likely we agree on that, but at the same time, the guy is listening. The guy is really listening. He's making an effort. He's trying to understand how he can cope with this freaking creature. And it's just there. And he just doesn't want to get into a fight. And she's really manipulating him, like drawing circles around him.
You got the tapes. Let me hear them. Send me the fucking recordings.
I will.
Just text them to me.
I don't know how else to say I will to you. I haven't because we have not been well. We have not been good. When I fucking move out, if I move out, then you'll have them and you can fucking relish them. You won't fucking like it, what you hear. Won't make you happy.
Wow.
But you'll hear what I'm telling you. That was after Toronto.
Yeah, that's when we came back here.
I know where we
Toronto,
were.
Boston, here.
I know where
rehearsals.
we were. We've been on the road basically since
This sounds like an abused woman to you.
Australia, and I have been at your side, and I have not been filming a movie.
Well, we were on our honeymoon. I hope you were at my side.
I'm not talking about just a honeymoon, now am I? I'm talking about many months. And was it all the honeymoon? No. I have been at your side throughout it all. You said, why did you come to Rio? And I answered you. I would love for it to be better. I have no fucking consistency, no safety, no security. The relationship is something you don't fight for, you don't stand up for, you always run from when it's tough. I'm telling you, I need more. We didn't say vows. You didn't make them exactly in the same, in that way, you know, but now is the fucking time. I need to know if you're going to be there. I want promises. I told you that at the beginning of this conversation. I need promises you're going to fucking be there. I need promises that this is important to you. Not when it's easy, when it's hard too. This is something you'll fight for.
I mean, this seems to me very obvious that when she says when it's hard, she's describing probably the fact that she has either her mood swings or whatever she goes through, and yeah, that she wants security, that those things are not going to cause the relationship to end. She wants security in that way.
That this is something that's sacred, that neither of us throw out every fight. I can't be the only one to hold the promises. I was in Toronto and it fucked me over. I can't be the only one. You can't be the only one. If I split on you, all those times that I thought about doing it, we would not be here. And I stayed, and it's tougher. You know, that's stronger. I'm stronger. It is easy to run. It is easy to run away from problems. It is easy to take that out and say, well, that's the easiest. I mean, that's the best, safest. That's the safest way out. I'm not saying we should get in physical altercations. I never want to be in that.
Wow.
Never. But every time you don't like what I say and you fucking run away, will never work out anything. You can't run away every fight. You can't. It's easy. It's
literally telling us the truth. This guy just leaves. He doesn't want to get into a fight. He just doesn't want to. It's not in his character to do so.
It's not brave. It's not strong. It's harder to say to somebody, I want to work this out. I want to face what I have. I want to face what you have. I want to work it out with you. You're not working it out. You're running away, and then you make me be the bigger person every single time and come to you and knock on the door and come to this house and say, hey, we're married. It's supposed to be sacred. Calm down, calm down.
I made you.
Yes, by default. If you're never the one to do it, one of us is, and I'm the one to do it every time. It means I'm the bigger person every time. It means I have to be the strong one. It means every time I have to fight for our relationship, and you get to be you get to be lazy. You get to be cowardly. I don't know what it is.
What are you here for? What do you need me for?
Once again, I am fighting for the relationship.
With a guy that you don't fucking trust or like? Why?
I did not say I didn't like you. I love you. You're my favorite person in the world.
I don't see how
I remember what I said at the beginning. I'm sorry you feel like you can't imagine it. But I said this to you at the beginning of this conversation.
Wow.
I said, you're my favorite person in the whole world. If you weren't the most magnetic, shiny, beautiful.
Well, there is a little lackluster attempt and praising him. I would suggest some extra reading might help with adjectives in this circumstance.
Interesting, dynamic person I had ever met in my life. It would be so easy to walk away from this bratty thing that you do.
Untrustworthy.
Did you hear what I just said? I said I can't trust. I can't trust. That's not meaning you're untrustworthy. It means that we've created a situation, and I'm telling you what you do to create it too. We've created a situation in which trust can't grow. It's like it's trampled every single time, and we need a marriage. That's why I sat down. Do you not remember me sitting down at the very beginning of this conversation and saying just that to you? Saying, I know you got married for security and for safety. So did I. We did not get married because it was something that we're doing, because it was something we could walk away. We wanted a foundation. No?
Yes, I wanted to make you my wife.
Yes, but you could just have me as your girlfriend if you didn't want the foundation. And you told me, and maybe you go back on it now. Fine, okay, cool. Lie about that. I don't know. You told me you wanted a foundation.
She sounds also so confused, man. Like really going in circles.
You told me you wanted the security, you wanted the safety, you liked the foundation. At the beginning you said, I really like having that. It feels safe. So don't argue with me when I say it now.
I'm not arguing with you.
Oh, yeah, but you had to pick it apart.
By saying because I loved you and you're my wife, I wanted you to be my wife, that's picking it apart?
No.
Then how did I pick it apart?
No, forget it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to fight about a fight. I want to fight about the semantics. I want to
How come when I come up with a point, you can't answer it? You don't want, or suddenly you don't want to answer it?
What am I not answering? Because I don't want to fight about this new thing? No, I don't want to. I said you wanted the safety and security, and you stopped me, you interrupted me, and then you said, what? Because no, because I wanted to have you as my...
I didn't interrupt you. You asked me, right? You said, right?
I meant you interjected. I meant you said. You said. How about that? See?
How did this guy manage to keep calm through this? I would have already ended the relationship 14 minutes in. I would have said, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. Take your stuff, go back to your apartment. I'll pay you rent for 6 months or something. Goodbye.
Now, is this better? I answered
Wow.
you. I addressed what you're saying. Now, can we please not fight about that?
And I said, because I love you.
I said loved.
Well, we're talking about a fucking event that's past tense. If I used loved, my apologies. It doesn't mean I don't love you now.
See how much she actually does pick apart the things he says, or sometimes even
Yeah.
doesn't say? Kind of like the whole "you said loved" when he said love part, but then accuses him of picking it all apart. She says she doesn't want to fight about the very things she's trying to verbally beat him down about, this time using guilt and then love bombing him to subdue him before telling him again what he is doing or saying
Exactly.
is wrong. At least that's how I'm hearing it.
And it's also true, I had this feeling also when I was listening to the deposition that she could go on and on and on about these atrocious things that Johnny supposedly did, and the way he depicted him and the way she knew about trauma. That feels like very much like, when you basically know about yourself, and it seems like a complete mirror that basically she's talking about her behavior, what she actually does usually. And here you have also like the practical proof, is accusing him to picking things apart when in fact that's immediately what she does.
My
Wow.
whole point that you had, I don't know, an issue with is that you love me. Yes, you married me though because you wanted some safety, some security, some stability, a foundation. Of course I want that with you. It's why I'm married to you. But I need the safety, I need the security,
Feels like that she did something next to the phone also, and she got closer because the audio, you see, becomes clearer. So I wonder if she had to do something like to cover up the phone or something. You heard pants or whatever moved around.
I need the boundaries, and I think you, because you not agree.
I need the same things.
So
But when you start flipping out, and I can't get a word in.
When you start to flipping out and I cannot get a word in. Eh?
And it's manic and angry. Well, what the fuck, Amber?
I get angry. I'm human.
Hey, she gets angry. She yells. She hits him. It's human. Let her be human. Notice who the voice of reason here is, saying that he doesn't want to be there and go through it, and because he just doesn't want to fight, which in turn makes her even more angry because apparently that's what she wants him to stay and do, to fight and stop running, even telling her alleged abuser that he isn't brave or strong by leaving, but she is by fighting. Her words, not mine.
Just try. Let's both try. If there's anger, if there's something fucking really fucking poking us in the ass, let's try. Try not to fucking fight. Try to address it without jumping down each other's throats, because all that's gonna do is build a mountain of fucking resentment, some species of fucking hatred within the love, totally fucking mistrust, because you say you don't trust me, you don't trust me. I get it, okay. I'm flake, I'm a this, I'm a that.
I didn't
All
say
right.
as a person. I was speaking specifically about this. I don't trust the marriage. I don't trust you. I don't feel safe with it because you always fucking bail on it.
Well, then
That's
I don't know, you know.
I want the trust back. I don't. You can deflect all you want. Say it's my fault. Say how dare I get angry at you ever.
I don't think that Johnny knows what the hell she's talking about, honestly.
Whatever. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
I don't know.
I don't
help
know.
you. I don't know what.
And
the
sometimes
thing
I
is.
don't. I don't want to fucking be there and go through the shit. I don't, man. I don't.
I know.
And I don't want to, because I don't want to fucking fight.
But it doesn't have to be one. It's not like I'm saying, hey, choose fight.
You just said I get mad, I'm gonna scream.
No, I didn't say that's always the case. I said, yeah, I'm mad. It happens. It happens.
Yes, I know. It happens often.
If you think I'm some fucking
It happens
tyrant,
often.
then don't fucking be with me. But don't sit here and insult me like I'm the fuck up because I have the
But you're the
audacity
one
to get
saying
mad.
that I'm the tyrant and the bully and at the same time the
I have called
guy
you
that
a
runs
bully, yeah.
away and
You run away every single fight.
Okay, so I mean, then what are you?
Then I'm not
doing
lying
with me?
about it.
Then what are you doing with me?
I already answered that. We went through this conversation literally 5 minutes ago. I answered this already 5 minutes ago.
You just said to me that I shouldn't be with you.
No, I said if
That's
you.
what I feel.
No, I said if I'm some, harping bully, which is what you make me sound like. Like I'm like constantly on you, making you feel bad. That's because that's what I do. And then you ignore everything. You take me for granted. You're ignoring everything that I do for you. You make me sound terrible. You talk about me in a terrible way.
Escalating, look.
You do not fight for me. And then you want to sit here and make me sound so
What do you mean
terrible
I
to be
don't
around.
fight for you?
You
What's
don't.
that mean?
Everything I've already explained.
No.
10 minutes
No,
before.
fight for you. I don't understand. What does
You
that mean?
never, ever.
We
do the
don't
work.
understand
Put in the
that
work.
either.
If we're arguing about something, you don't ever try to get to the bottom of it, figure out, make the peace. You want to make it easy on you, so you split. You don't fight for me. You don't fight when there's a problem. You don't come to me. You don't make peace with me. You never extend an olive branch. You're never the bigger guy. You're never the one that's like, okay, I'm going to put my own feelings aside for a second and say, this is bigger than us. Let's stop fighting. You never are the one to come and knock on my door.
You know, the way I see this is basically to me that she's admitting to be like just the tyrant in the relationship, but she basically is blaming him for running away from the problem instead of going back and fighting for her in the way, like, fighting his way through her fight to make her understand that he's willing to fight over her fight, over her bad temper, manners, whatever, so that he can show that he cares that way. It's a very convoluted, strange way of saying, she gets pissed off and he doesn't want a drama and he splits, which seems like pretty against anybody that is supposed to be a monster abuser. And probably is the mature guy by leaving, by not wanting to confront all of this. And look how she's manipulating him. It's actually quite distressing.
You take me for granted.
It's not true. It's not true. I'm not the one who fucking throws fucking pots and
Those are different.
whatever
That's
the
different.
fucking else at me.
That's different. That's one does not negate the other. That's irrelevant. It's a complete non sequitur. Just because I've thrown pots and pans does not mean that you come and knock on the door. Just because there are vases does not mean that you come and knock on the door.
Really, I should just let you throw.
I'm not saying that. You're saying that. You're putting words in my mouth and then making non sequiturs.
I'm giving you a situation.
No, you're trying to justify how you don't or do come to the door
No,
based
I'm
on whether I throw pots and pans. It's irrelevant.
No, I am justifying how you seem to think that there's this cowardice in me that runs away and I don't fight for you.
And you're justifying that by saying I throw pots and pans? Okay, cool. Let's
No.
talk about everything you do wrong.
I'm not the one who fucking did that. I didn't.
So that makes sense. That's clear. Yeah.
The only time I ever threw anything at you was when you fucking threw the cans at me in Australia.
Why are you trying to justify who throws things based on
Because
whether or not you come knocking on the door? I don't
Because
get
that
why
is a
one
fucking
informs the other.
irrational and violent fucking maneuver.
How
So
does
a
one
man would
inform
want
the
to
other?
get out of that area so that he doesn't get so fucking angry that he actually does pop the fucking wife.
How does one inform the other?
Oh, man. Go home and listen to the tape.
Oh my god. Oh, the guy is literally being so freaking mature. It's unbelievable. I mean, the patience as this guy, and I honestly don't know. I don't know if there is some kind of like psychological reason for that. He might have been idolizing this idea of love for this woman, and perhaps he has like what we call the Red Cross syndrome, you know, that you find people that need fixing in the hope that maybe you can be the one that, you know, helps them change. Perhaps can be by like childhood traumas of the mother, you know, that he tries to find somebody somehow that reflects the trauma that he received from his mother, and is trying to meet, you know, subconsciously he gets into relationship with those people in the hope that with this new person somehow he can fix the relationship with the mother, you know. I don't know, something like that. But definitely Johnny displays not only maturity but patience with somebody that most of the time makes no sense, and actually through her words and loops of confusion and irrational thinking that she's displaying, she's basically validating all that she carried out against him. Honestly, there is no shadow of a doubt.
That's what they're for.
Yes. You listen to the fucking tape.
Oh, I'm gonna.
So will I.
And here we have Amber admitting to throwing pots, pans, vases, and a variety of other things at Johnny, but claiming it's irrelevant to her complaint that he splits because of the attack, and then doesn't come to her to work it out after having the pots, pans, vases, and cans thrown at him. And I'm not skipping over the fact that Johnny did say he threw a can back when she threw a bunch at him. And notice he brought that up, so credit for honesty, while she doesn't even want to discuss it. And neither mentioned that the can actually hit her, nor does she dispute this being the only time and reason that he threw something in her direction. Also, and feel free to leave a comment discussing this, I respect that he would rather just leave so she isn't able to physically assault him to the point he would end up doing something he regrets and hurt the one he loves. Smart